America's #1 source for Czech news. I'm Jennifer Preston. In sports news, the Czech Republic is sending a record 114 athletes to compete in the Beijing Winter Games, up from 93 athletes in the 2018 Olympics. The Czech women's hockey team has qualified for the first time, putting most Czech hockey fans in a quandary. They'll have twice as many hockey teams to root for, but they'll also have to admit to being feminists. Olympic champion Esther Ledecka will be defending her gold medals in both alpine skiing and snowboarding. She's been following a strict training regimen of deep-sea cryogenics, helping her take third place at the most recent downhill event in Cortina, Italy. The Czechs will be rooting for her to bring home the gold. Ona je zlata. In other world competitions, the Czechs are vying to hold on to their March 2021 title of #1 in COVID. Many Czech citizens have been following a strict training regimen of unmasked, non-socially distanced, anti-vaccine protests in an effort to increase the spread. They hope to reclaim their title of #1 in COVID before Omicron is expected to peak in mid-February. And their efforts are paying off. In the last 2 weeks, the Czechs have seen a 280% increase in positive COVID tests. But despite the Czech push for victory, it's the French who are predicted to claim the European title, as they have been training in mass gatherings since the revolution. Finally, an event the French are competitive in. We wish both the Czechs and the French good luck. And a quick producer's note. While COVID deaths have dramatically declined since the last wave, DPN will continue to report on overall positive tests as those numbers are more frightening and help us sell more advertisements. As the rhetoric heats up at the border of Ukraine and Russia, many NATO countries are sending support to Ukraine, who is not a member of NATO. The UK is sending short-range defensive anti-tank weapons and will train Ukrainians on the weapon systems. The Czech Republic is sending 4,000 artillery rounds and presumably a giant rubber band. Germany is sending a stunning several billion euros over the next quarter as payment for oil and no, that's what they're sending to Russia. To Ukraine, they are sending 5,000 helmets, a hope, and a prayer. Helpful. The Czech government is now considering sending actual troops to Ukraine upon the realization that the further Russia moves to the west, the higher likelihood Czechia will again be labeled as Eastern Europe. But the Russian invasion is not a foregone conclusion. Like any experienced hostage taker, Putin has issued the West a list of demands. NATO must return to their pre-1997 membership. All walls must return to their pre-1989 heights. And climate must return to its pre-1975 temperatures. Many world leaders are wondering, why now? Why does Russia suddenly want to undo the last 25 years of democratic progress? Russia experts say that the answer may lie in a certain dictator's upcoming 70th birthday. Don't we all long for our wild and crazy glory days? With a lack of self-awareness only seen in modern superpowers, the US advised Russia not to invade sovereign countries unprovoked. In U.S. news, nearly 40 ambassadors were finally confirmed in December for their foreign posts. However, last week marked the one-year vacancy of the U.S. ambassador's office in Prague. Czech security services are eager to give the new, yet unnamed American ambassador the traditional diplomatic gift, a shiny pair of new batyas. At least the delay will give them more time to check the reception. And finally, in local news, Prague Mayor CZECHIA is assessing Praguers' support for a floating pool, which would be constructed on a barge in the Vltava, just below Vyšehrad. This riverside pool would be reminiscent of historic Vltava swimming holes. Hřib says that he has secured EU funding for the project, which is good because I expect most swimmers won't be paying for admission. At last count, support was 10-1 in favor. I look forward to seeing you at the pool. That's all for today's news. Up next, ruffled feathers. Prague Peacocks sue influencers for unpaid royalties. Uvidíme se příště. Naschledanou.